can't locate it. Now, very, very good. We're all set with Consumer Direct. That is the employment agency that's hired by the insurance company that's hired by Medicaid to take care of Glendora. Sasha put in a day yesterday, Wednesday, her second day, and she clocked in and out. And she's going to get all of her hours. She gets quite a few hours this week. And then it's going to work out that Marianne will have 16 hours. Gina Cook will have 8 hours. And Sasha will have 24 hours taken away from 41. She'll get 17 hours, I think. That's very, very good. Thank you, Medicaid. Glendora talked to Austin. He's enjoying his research. He says he's working very hard and that he was late getting his paper in. But he's at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. He's about 28 years old now, and he's vegan, and he is not a candidate for a degree, nor does he really intend to be. What is his field? Urban renewal. Water. Wells. Municipal. Carol is going to go over to Pittsfield and pick up Wayne and bring Wayne over to Glendora so that Wayne and Glendora can visit in person. And Wayne is going to bring over the Christmas cookies. And the cost on gasoline is 24 miles. The cost on gasoline is going to be $20, and Glendora is going to pay that. Thank you, Franklin. Glendora talked to Dr. Gordon Bermont, who is a lecturer at the University of Pennsylvania in the Department of Psychology. Dr. Bermont says the research that Austin is doing will help him get into graduate school, but I don't know if Austin cares about graduate school anymore. We finally finished, I told you, volume what is it? D and E of Compton's Encyclopedia, and we're now doing volume G, F, I, and J of Compton's, and we're doing volume G and A, B, C, D, G and E. No, E is done. G and F of the World Book Encyclopedia. Austin asked if Glendora was keeping up her reading. And Glendora said that she doesn't read books or the New York State Library anymore. She just reads the encyclopedia. The trust is in good shape as far as Carol goes. They're as slow as molasses in January, the trust. They take 4 days to just process a simple transaction. Then they take 14 days to get it to you after that. Sasha is going to be the power of attorney, and we made out the form together yesterday. And dear and wonderful Tracy Pratt, our banker at the Kinderhook Bank, now called Community Bank, is going to come up here from the bank and make a special trip to notarize it for us. And then she will notarize the Sasha's being the beneficiary of the bank account. If any money is left over in the bank account, all Sasha has to do is show up with a death certificate, and the money will be turned over to Sasha, and she will turn it over to running the trust. We're going to give Sasha $1,200 to pay the museum rent and to do any repairs. And Sasha will thereby be the successor trustee to Glendora and Franklin, running the museum. Glendora is going to try something very different, something to do with Lynn Evans, something to do with Burlington, Vermont, something to do with Tammy Smith. An Inflatus came yesterday, an Epiphany. Late. Epiphany was 6 days ago. But we're going to try that in Burlington, Vermont. Can you think of anything else? A woman went on a diet, and wouldn't you know, the next day she found herself in the neighborhood of her favorite pastry shop, and she said, I will drive around the block, and if I find a parking space, then it's meant for me to go into the pastry shop and buy a pastry. So she did find a parking space after 8 times around the block. Mary Ann Jones thinks we should paint the apartment, but I have to explain to Mary Ann Jones that this building is owned by Autobeck Builders, and they are specialists in refreshing apartments. They've done over all 5 apartments here, way down to the slats, taken down the wallboard, and the owners would love to take over this apartment and do it over, but Glendora said she would like to have it left alone, that she's very happy with it, and she doesn't want all that turmoil. The wood that we put out on the sidewalk to give away free, with a free sign on it, has been out there for over a week and nobody seems to pick it up. It's very expensive wood. So Glendora will call David McLean and ask him if he would like $200 of wood for $100. He's a handyman, a repairman. And it's a grand world, and it's the oneness of God. What is the oneness of God? That everything that exists in the universe is everything that exists, and God is everything that exists. So everything that exists is God. We're all some of God. That's the oneness of you and Glendora. You and I are one. We all have the same soul. It's one piece, and that's God. That's the oneness of God and the onlyness of God. There's no other power but God. There's just God. That's the way we're going to live it. If you want to think there's another power, okay, go do it. But we're living that there is one power, and that power is God, and that power is good. And we're going to think only about good, the transformation through the renewal of our minds. When all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how did you help others? We got a high grade from our professor at the University of Pennsylvania. I mentioned that earlier. The veggie dogs are delicious. The way you cook a veggie dog is that you take a pot of water and you bring it to a boil. Then you drop the veggie dogs in it and leave them for 8 minutes, and they are delicious. And they are vegetarian. Why don't you wake up people? You don't need to put eggs in them. You could use a number of different compounds to hold the mixture together. You don't need eggs. Egg is a wonderful thing. Can you imagine out of an egg comes a darling baby chick? Can you imagine that? And in all life, in the whole universe, plant life, animal life, all starts with an egg. You don't give any time, life, or energy to selfishness, egotism, first. It just doesn't exist. In your thinking, it doesn't exist. Transformation of your mind through the renewal of your thought. Transformation. Isn't that lovely? Doesn't that make you happy? Glendora, 90. 3 years old, no doctors, no medicine. Okay, was that all the announcements? God is everything, God is good. Go vegan. You can't be one with God and put your money down at a supermarket to torture a sweet little animal when all that animal wants to be is a friend and to love you and be loved by you. That's all. Just be kind. Be nice.